Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of your Slightly Average Guys podcast. I appreciate all of your guys' patience as we definitely missed a week. So if you're looking forward to it, we unfortunately missed that. But we are glad you're back. We have another exciting episode. And we're going to kick things off with Ryan letting us know what we're going to be talking about. So appreciate you coming.
Yeah, appreciate everybody. Again, if you're in the chat, go ahead and join us. Follow along. Say whatever you want to say. You got topics you want to bring up. You got a question you want to ask us. We'll try to get to it. We had that a couple of weeks ago, which was very, very fun. So always bring it in there. Always throw it out. And all right, let's jump in this week because it's starting to get warmer. Starting to get colder, depending upon where you're at and the different things that are going on. But what are you looking forward to doing as things are warm enough to go outside? We're in Phoenix, because obviously we get to go outside a little earlier than most people do. But what is I'm just going to call it our spring, right? Like, what's the springtime event that you guys are most looking forward to, especially since COVID is somehow just phantomly gone, just because it's just phantomly gone. So Andy, you go first.
Okay, I got two. One is like mountain biking / hiking. So
Okay.
I started that last year. That was a blast. And then the other one is baseball because it's so nice. And spring training is like the best.
Especially out here.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's just a little bit unfortunate too, because spring training is definitely one of the things I'm looking forward to, even if I'm just watching it on TV. But it's just kind of a bummer because Corey's dad he's been coming here for the past like 3 years, I want to say, because he loves baseball. Right? Whenever he would come, we'd go Ohio.
Okay.
He's from Ohio. We'd go to like 3 or 4 spring training games within 7 days. He'd stay for a week, and it was awesome. But now, like, can you even buy tickets?
Yeah. So actually, there are very limited seats that you can go to for like the Diamondbacks. I don't know about the Cubs, and I don't know about any of the other ones, but I know for up at Salt River Fields, they do have some limited options that you can get in on.
Okay, I'll have to look into that, but that is definitely one of them. I love the spring training vibe that it just brings kind of everybody. It's going to be different, right? But it brings everybody together. People are out mingling, out and about, having fun, drinking beer. In a stadium is a beautiful place to be, in my opinion. So I'm just really excited for that. But number 2, longer days, baby, longer days. Winter gets real dark at like 4:30. You know, that might be a little early, but 4:30, 5. But now days are starting to get real long. 6:30, gonna push 7 o'clock here very, very shortly. So I'm excited about that. Andy, need to do some mountain biking.
Yes, sir. And you're not excited for longer days for more sun because you work for a solar company by chance, right? No?
Absolutely not. Nope. I'm one of those guys that works for the solar company, but I might not be that massive advocate of like, oh my gosh, bro, you don't have solar yet? Bro, why don't you drive a Tesla yet? Come on, bro. That's totally waste of environment. I recycle most of the time, but I don't care if I don't.
Don't mind if I don't.
I appreciate you broing me, by the way. That was very nice of you.
Oh, bro.
Anytime.
Yeah, if you don't know, now you do know, you probably need to download the Bro app.
That's right.
Actually, it's not called the Bro app. It was the Bro app in the TV show, but it's actually called the Yo app. So you download this app. It's called the Yo app. And all you can do is
the Yo app or the Bro app?
Man, now you're just confusing the hell out of me.
You said Yo app.
I know. Okay, here's the deal. In the TV show Silicon Valley, there's a funny moment where somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to create this app," and he's raising money because people raise money for all kinds of stupid crap, right? So he's raising money for this app. All you can do in it is if 2 people download it, like Andy, me, and you, all we could do is send Yo. It's kind of like the old Facebook days where you just poke somebody, right? Just bro. And then you bro me back, right? Bro. That's all you can do. So somebody took that TV show and that you couldn't, somehow somebody owns the rights to Bro. So they made an actual app that you can download right now called Yo. It's the Yo app. You download it and you, yo.
And how many people can you have? Is
it
like a group text message? Like, doesn't matter?
First off, you're asking me something that I did like 4 or 5 years ago. That just randomly came up because, you guys broed each other and it triggered things in my memory.
But this reminds me.
Now I'm just gonna go download it right now.
It's me too, because this reminds me of Andy. I guess we have one, right? We have a group chat with Anthony and yourself, and then I have another group chat with my Apex and my Xbox crew that I play with as well. I'm gonna totally have them all download it, and every time we want to text the group to play video games, we're just gonna be like, "Yo," and then the other people, "Yo."
That's it.
Yo.
You instantly know what that means.
Okay, so there's a bunch of them now on here.
Oh,
like
that's
there's a one called Yoyo voice chat room. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, you have to go down until you see it's from Life Before Us LLC. Okay, so this is the app.
Oh my god.
Yo, it's a purple square. Okay, all right. It's got 3.7 stars on it and 1 million downloads. So we're just gonna go so we're gonna go re-download it again, and I'm gonna see if I can get slightly average guys as the username, and then people can start yelling me.
How do you not get 5 stars? All it does is just you text somebody yo.
Oh, this app was built for an older version.
Or is it just a button you press like yo, and then you can just like
it was,
spam yo? Yo.
You used to be able to spam it. Man, I just got a warning. It says it's not made for...
It's probably like Rocket League. It's like you can only do stuff every couple seconds.
Yo.
Andy, once you get Rocket League, you'll understand.
Yep.
Maybe, have you played Rocket League before?
No, that's why I was just making my wish list in Steam, so that way when I get all my stuff set up, I could just knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Failed. Hey, you do not have the internet. Damn, it doesn't work.
Way off topic, but you know what challenge we should do? We all have cameras, right? How often do we look into our cameras? Never.
Oh,
I will occasionally. I think I did once, just now, twice within this podcast, but never. We should have a challenge. We should do one whole podcast where you don't look at anything else but your camera. And you don't gotta be creepy about it. Jeez, I'm just saying, like, look and address your audience.
I think you do.
Hello, Roger. How are you? Welcome to the chat room.
No.
We have a better connection now.
Play some weird music and you put your chapstick on, right?
What the heck are you doing, Andy?
What is that?
That's a
We're talking about getting creepy, so...
And we just went from 8 followers to 6 followers or viewers.
Oh god!
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Oh, that was some good stuff. All right,
we've just gone from like topic to topic to topic today.
Hey man,
what do we got next?
Since we missed a week, that's just what we're gonna do because that's how we live. So, all right, let's go with something that's still kind of in that same crazy vein of podcasting, us looking at things. If things aren't working right, I apologize because I'm on a new, also temporary PC that's running in the background behind me, and it's great to have brand new parts show up and they don't work. So that's been fun, trying to like as we talked about a couple weeks ago, get parts. And then the second is try to get a hold of a company after you've ordered something and spent thousands of dollars with them, and then the phone rings busy. I didn't think in 2021 a phone could ring busy. I was actually impressed that I could get a busy signal calling somebody. Pretty impressive.
And I want to point out too, like, of most important pieces within a PC build, right? One, I mean, obviously power is probably number 1. Number 2's got to be the CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is definitely the graphics card.
Yep.
And that's what shot down. Your graphics card just got shot. Like, didn't work, straight out of the box, gone.
Yeah.
Brand new 3070 GeForce RTX.
Thanks a lot, Gigabyte. Garbage. Garbage.
Somebody might buy that for like $500 and try to fix it.
If I didn't have to buy another one to get it to ship to me before they'll give me my money back once I ship them this, only because I knew it would get lost if I shipped them this before I ever, see anything, like is the way that they've handled everything else up to this point. So, yes, I would actually do that, but I had to pay a ridiculous amount of money to get that thing shipped to me again. So it's going back. Definitely. Dude. It's just nuts. Nuts. I was about to go down a rabbit hole I probably shouldn't go down yet. So, okay. But my point was, Ryan had brought up a good question for Andy and I, actually all 3 of us, which is, what would be your dream video gaming podcasting room or set? Right. And I'm really interested to know what your guys' thoughts are on this because I've been waiting for this piece to get here. So that once I knew what it looked like and could get it all set up, where would I want it? What am I going to change? And B, I'm actually going to change this whole room up that from what behind me, what you guys see. So, Ryan, I assume that you had something in mind. Let's start with you on what your dream, scenario would be, other than hey, just having a room dedicated to it. Because I know your 600 square feet apartment's getting a little cramped.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Clarify. Gaming setup or room?
I was more gearing that question towards the actual room you're in. Like my setup, I think is honestly pretty badass. Most of it's work related. So
yeah, you're talking more of what people can see. That's to
what
me
people can
like
see,
like right, like even Ryan, like even you, even though you don't have a room dedicated to it, right? It'd be everything the camera sees and stuff behind you. Whether you just like, hey, I'd just love to have a green screen and it could look like I'm wherever I want to be, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna do it right now, but if I zoom out my camera, right, you're gonna see my living room. Right, and I don't, growing what we're doing here, it needs, in my opinion, I just need something a little bit more professional, right? Especially if somebody's gonna go. Does this work? Yeah, absolutely. But my number one, I need a room. That's all I need. I just need a room. And from there, I really love what people do in their backgrounds with certain walls. So they'll make some and I don't need it to be crazy. I don't need it to be super artsy. Just like some type of design with like they tape off the wall in like certain areas and make cool triangles. Or one of my coworker actually does something similar as well, which I thought was really cool. So I imagine myself doing that, and then just having general lighting. You know what I mean? Just across the room, just having nothing crazy. I don't need strobe lights or anything like that. Am I like solo here?
Yeah. That way people can get an understanding of what was behind you a little bit better,
Well, yeah, there you go. And I can zoom out too, but I mean, you're gonna see a couch. Well, over there, that's for you guys. And but just having more professional setup, right? I have the kitchen light on, which is lighting my face, which actually works pretty well, right? I think I'm pretty well lit. But of course, I'll probably need better lighting if I'm in a solo room by myself, totally dedicated. But it's really just about having a room to start for me.
All right, Andy, what about you? Because Andy's done a ton of research. Andy's like, what most people may not realize is behind him, he's painted his room. He's set up other stuff. He's getting ready because he ordered a new computer as well from the same damn company I did. And he is still waiting, and he ordered his 2 weeks before me, which was hilarious.
Yeah, sadly. So for me, I definitely want more space. So the room I'm in, I don't even know, but if it was like twice the size of this would be ideal. So I want it like decked out, technology, voice activated, but really like themed Star Wars. I want the door to like slide open when I approach it and like slide closed. Yeah, I want that sound. I really just want that sound. I don't even care if I have to open the door, but like, I just want that. And yeah, like the fun, goofy stuff. I mean, I have this goofy photo behind me. I don't know if you can really see it. I'll kind of. This is.
Oh, hang on. Let me go here and there. Now people can see it better.
Okay. So I have this goofy photo. And really just like, I think we talked about this once before, but I have toys. So I just want to have a room to like goof around in. Maybe like a little basketball hoop, just all kinds of different stuff would be fun to just have like that. And the reason why I clarified room or setup is, if you ever watched Grandma's Boy, and like he's in this whole like, this rig where he leans back and there's like 3 screens right here and stuff like that. And I've seen some now that look like a scorpion where the tail comes over.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
I mean, I think that's just a must-have. So,
Ryan, I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're a mute, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Two
There you
different sides of the spectrum there. I definitely don't need anything like that. Again, I have a pretty badass setup
Yeah.
if you would like see what I'm actually dealing with here. I just need to move some things around and have my own space.
Yeah. So there's something I want to mention about this that I'm not letting anybody steal this idea. Okay. So sorry for anybody watching. I'm not going to mention it on the stream. If you know me personally, you can call me and ask me about it. But remind me after we get done with this stream, and I'm going to throw something out there that I need help with. I have somebody to make it,
Ooh.
and everything else. And you tell me if it's a bad idea or a like, why in the hell hasn't somebody done this yet? In regards to streaming. Okay.
Totally bad idea.
All right. Probably. All right. Andy just looks like
How
a
did I get
floating
on
head now.
Hmm.
He's got tilted down now.
Come on, Andy. We're trying to be professional.
Sorry.
Okay. So
Come on,
mine.
Andy.
So for me, Andy sent me a lot of like he sends me TikTok videos and stuff still, and a lot. Which, by the way, I've fallen off the bus,
wagon.
the wagon with the.
Are you on the
Staying off.
wagon or off the wagon?
I was off the wagon. Was I? I don't know. I've run over by multiple wagons. With the being on TikTok over like the last like 4 days, it's been horrible. It's been horrible. Anyway, he sends me a lot of ones where there's a lot of rooms that are now this like the theme is like, okay, that's all white. We'll have RGB lights, kind of like I do, but they are like diamond patterns and stuff that are off the wall. So like you shine lights and they get all these different shadows, but because they're RGB lights, you know, they're different colors, the shadows. Really cool. Starting to get way overdone, but like the theme is all different white stuff. So I kind of want to go opposite of that. Some other people are putting wood all over everything, which I'm like, I don't want to, but that was originally my idea, was to make this wall wood paneling that goes across, not cheap like Indiana paneling, but like
Yeah,
planks.
but then you're like outside.
Yeah, well, the thing that I was going to do is it was going to be like a whitewashed one. So like you could still have lights bounce off it, but you get the wood look without it. And then there's this like royal blue color that I just like absolutely love, that I would love to paint one of these walls. And anybody that's been in this room knows how tiny this room is to begin with. I'm afraid it's going to make the room look small, not on camera, just outside of that. I don't know why I care about that, but anyway, just cool different colors. My main goal is to not have these colored lights. Like everybody's kind of doing them, so I would like to try to figure out a way that's just like, what's something nobody else is doing, right? That would be just my golden setup, is to have something nobody else has.
Yeah, I mean, you already have a light on top of your camera, right? That does what you need to. If I were to change areas, like I got really good lighting here, fortunately, in my opinion. I would definitely have to change that, because if you go to a typical bedroom, a typical spare room, right, there's only going to be one little fan light hanging up on the top, and that's definitely not going to be enough. So there's 100% additional items that are going to be needed.
This would be my rig setup. If
Yeah,
how different
that's
it is
terrible.
with. There we go. This is what it looks like. This is how much lights make difference, and nobody really
This
realizes.
goes to show you, yes, lighting is everything, and backgrounds, I mean, they do help, right? Like, I'm not saying if you turn on your camera light, Ryan, you could make that work 100%. But does it add character? Does it add style? Does it add viewing pleasure?
Yeah, the biggest thing
Absolutely.
is I look, because I'm pasty to begin with, and now the white balance is way off on my camera. I look the same as the white wall behind me, right? There's no distance between me and what else is around. So by having the colored lights, now it actually separates me from that. Then if I turn off the yellowish light I got above and correct the light, right? Outside of, again, the white balance being weird, and give my camera a second and it'll actually make me fleshy again. Now I look separate from what's behind me, which is the whole, to just not make it two-dimensional, you know, even though it is a two-dimensional image, like actually add some depth, which is the coolest thing about everything. So like, besides just redoing some of this, it would be to have a rig lighting system above me. Anybody that knows, I'm actually on a standing desk that everything is mounted to, that will go up and down. My big camera, the mixer, the lights, everything, which is cool, but it's also a pain to try to have all of that stuff wired to make everything work. So have a main light system that's over the top of me that would be able to do some other stuff would be cool.
And one thing for me that is extremely important, wire management.
Yeah.
Not that I'm an expert in wire management. Not that I make anything look good. I use zip ties and stuff, and I basically just zip tie all the cords together and just string them underneath and stuff. But one thing that's going to be very important to me is wire management. I'm definitely going to spend some money once I get an area where I'm going to be settled in. So,
Agree.
Okay, I think we've beat that dead horse. I'm gonna throw an audible here. Throw an audible.
That dead horse.
Dead horse. You've never heard that statement? Okay.
No, I absolutely have.
All right. I'm gonna throw this out there. Again, we didn't talk about this one at all. I'm just gonna bring this up. If it's a 2-second conversation, that's fine. Ryan, this came today. Ordered this earlier on in the week. Right there, Google
That
Fi.
a baby.
Yep.
Nice.
Google Fi.
Let's go.
I'm finally.
Proud of you.
I'm
I
fine.
better get $20.
Oh yeah, I used your reference code. So everybody understands. For the audio listeners, I was holding up a Google Fi. It's a SIM card for my phone. I've been a Verizon wireless customer my whole entire life. Since having a phone, well, except for like the first year, I was like a track phone person because I worked at Walmart. But since then, for over 20 years, I've had Verizon. Love their service, everything else. Used to have one of their old grandfathered legacy unlimited plans, and like I could literally stream 100 gig of stuff and it wouldn't have mattered. They talked me out of that. Like changing away from that plan, it also saved me a ton of money over the last couple of years. And then COVID, yeah, it's crazy how COVID has actually forced you to look at things a little bit differently. And I went back and recalculated, and somewhere between $375 and $450 is what I would have saved if I was on Google Fi rather than Verizon this last year.
Wow.
That's in a year.
That's your yearly calculation?
Yeah, that just for
Holy
2020. Now 2020 was a little bit different, right? Because we were home a ton.
Half.
All right.
Mhm.
So everybody understands the premise. Google Fi is running pretty much on the T-Mobile network and a few other smaller ones, but you pay for the data that you use.
I love it.
That you pay as you go, and not like pay as you go like, hey, it's a $50 plan and you just pay month to month. No, like there's a flat fee for me and my wife are going to be on it. It's $18 per each line. So
Okay.
our flat amount minus the taxes that are going to be there, if we use no data, it's $36. $36 is all we will pay if we use zero data. I had 3 months this year, or in 2020, where we didn't use a damn bit of data because A, we were inside, B, we were always at somebody's house that had data, right? So that's how the massive savings were. Every gig that you use over that is $10, but it caps itself. It caps itself at what my bill for Verizon was, for only 12 gig plans. So like my max bill will be like $120. Like
you know exactly what it is. And
there's only
there's
only savings. There's no negative.
This is the best part about it. Going into it, if you know you're traveling and you're doing all this stuff, you can straight up pay for 6 gigs, right? And then $10 a gig, 6 gigs, $60, right? Plus your flat fee, right? We understand that. Here's the best thing about it. You pay for $60, 6 gigs, you use 4 in that month. Guess what? You pay $40 instead of 60. You literally, and so it doesn't make any sense. I just pay for 1 gig, which is $10 a month. And if I use 2, I pay 20. If I use a half of a gig, I pay $5. It is literally pay for what you use. It's the most upfront, most honest thing I've ever seen within a phone company, and I will hands down recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, so like I had a bunch of Ryan's been trying to get me to do this for like 2 years since he went on it. And I've always been hesitant, mostly because I've literally never had a single problem ever with Verizon service outside of being in a bomb shelter building. But so my big thing was he prior to, COVID, he was traveling a bunch. I'm like, did you have any problems? He's like, nope.
I would travel 3 out of 4 weeks, sometimes 4 out of 4 weeks, every single month. I would go from East Coast to northern Colorado to Oregon to California, right? Texas, all the states in between. Never had any issues. It's amazing.
Yeah, so finally talked me into it. My other hang up that I had was my wife is a fruit person. She likes this rotten fruit. I tried to get her to use an Android phone, to which she said she would have no problem switching to it. She's like, if you just want to, fine. So I had her use one of my old ones for a couple of weeks. She broke it. I don't even know how she like completely bricked the phone. Don't know how that's possible. B, all there was 2.5 weeks of her complaining about not knowing where anything was at. Even though basically it was, I don't remember my username and password to anything. So how dare you ask me what my username and password is for email, for this app, for that, my bank account, So, Google Fi.
I'm proud of you.
Google Fi does work with iPhones. You just gotta jump through a couple of extra little hoops and loops to make it where the text messaging thing works, because for Apple uses some special settings. So,
and as far as the app goes too with Google Fi, it's the easiest thing legitimately ever. You can do everything you want. You want to buy a new phone? Buy a new phone. You want to switch out your phone and trade it out? Sure, do that through the app. You want to change your plan? Sure, do that. Everything is seamlessly easy through the app. And everything's straight up front. Hey, here's what it is. Here's what you just saw. It's awesome. And even when I've called their service team, it's like they're just, oh, hey, what's up, Ryan? How are you? Do I know you?
We know you. We know where you've been.
Yeah, it's just awesome. So highly recommend Google Fi if you've had any troubles with your current carrier.
Yep. So I've only ever heard of one horror story with it, and I don't know all the issues that were behind it. That is like the most worrisome thing, because it was with an issue with a phone number getting lost. So that does terrify me, because I've had the same phone number for over 20 some years. So if I lose that, that's kind of a big deal. Then I really started thinking about it. I was like, really? Is it that big of a deal?
Yeah, just go on here, give everybody your phone number, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's 555
5555.
Wait,
Area
it's
code
5
911.
5555.
574 849.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Anyway, so I'll report back next week on what it is. The only thing, like, so far, I have a G Suite account, which is like the paid for Google version, and that's caused me a few little. It was kind of odd with it trying to get that stuff to initialize to where I could just buy it. The second one is, and I know the reason why. There's just not documentation I've already read inside of this. Obviously, you have a SIM card for both phones, okay? But it's either her phone or my phone that doesn't technically need a SIM card. You can reprogram it via the network into it. They don't tell you which one. So there's a SIM card in here, and I don't know if it's for my phone or her phone. I'm assuming it's hers because it's an Apple product versus my Google Pixel that I have in front of me right now. But
Interesting.
So I will find out and let everybody know how well that goes next week. Sorry for just randomly going off on that tangent.
Yeah, that's 2 dead horses today.
So is your phone, like, your coverage 5G then?
They
Depends
have
on the phone you get.
Yeah, they have 5G service because again, the major carrier that's behind it is T-Mobile. So yes, but my phone is not a 5G phone. Neither is the one I just purchased for my wife because she needed an upgraded phone. So if anybody actually
Mine's
wanted
like
to
3
know,
years old.
an iPhone 6 below won't work, but an iPhone 6S and above does work on it.
Okay,
So.
interesting.
All right.
But if you need that code, just hit me up personally. If you need a code and you know my number, hit me up.
You get
you get a discount.
you get
and
$20.
I get a discount.
Yep.
$20.
$20.
$20 free dollars. Hit me up.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask.
Use code slightly average. I'm just kidding.
That's what an honest to God should be. Yeah. Okay. All right, Ryan, I'm coming to you first with this. And again, this is off the cuff. I'm throwing it out there before anybody even knows about it. This is my random question. Okay. Instead of the today I learned, I saw one today and I'm like, I have to ask you both this.
Okay.
If you could turn any movie, any blockbuster movie, into a porno with the same exact cast from that movie, what would you choose?
The heck?
And why is it Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? That, like,
I mean, But that's you said
What?
blockbuster though. Was that really a blockbuster movie?
Well, I know. I mean, yeah, technically back in the day, but like any movie, just like any a movie, right?
Hmm.
Oh
So
my gosh.
so again,
And you're coming to me first for
yeah,
that?
I'm coming to you first for that. I figured you could like, throw it off right away. I figured.
That's a negative Ghost Rider,
Oh,
but I
Andy,
can do my best.
Andy, all right.
Andy already knows.
Andy's more spontaneous with one. He's gonna be like
Andy's-
Joe Dirt.
Andy said, "I've been prepared for this question for years."
One of many that are just locked and loaded, waiting for somebody to ask. So instantly I thought of two: Terminator and Goonies. Those are my
What?
What?
those are my instant go-tos. Terminator and Goonies. The more I think about it,
Now
Okay.
I know what type of
I think I'll go. I won't go either of those. I'm gonna go. Just because it'd be weird, would be Avatar. I'm gonna go Avatar.
Ooh. All right.
'Cause
Ryan, what about yourself?
is-
I still don't know.
do you think the avatars have parts since they lock tails?
Listen, it's a porno, man. Somebody's getting something's going into somewhere on some things. It doesn't matter. Okay,
I mean, technically, wasn't that movie already a porn?
sort of.
I mean,
I'm
at
sure
one point.
there were a lot of weirdos that probably did a pause and toss on some of those scenes with the girl alien thing. So
Man, like I actually didn't even have an answer for this one, but because it was so ridiculous. I figured you guys actually would just,
Oh my god.
refuse to answer it. Man, it would be a completely different movie. The Hunger Games. Let's go The Hunger Games.
okay.
Okay, like completely different movie. Like
So is the movie the
instead
same,
of trying to kill people, you're trying to sleep with everybody.
but it's like
Oh, horny.
but
game.
it's like every character is the same, they're the same person, they dress the same, all that good stuff. It's just now a porno.
Well, it's got the same cast. So, like, assuming you would probably pick a movie that's either A, you have a weird fetish, or B, it's just a bunch of hot people in that movie that you would like to see and get it
Sure.
on, I guess.
Yeah, I would just choose that second option. Just pick any movie. I don't think it matters.
So,
I don't have an answer to that.
man,
That's an interesting question.
you punk out. You punk out.
I
like,
did. I punked out.
I almost messaged you guys through Discord earlier today when I saw it, and I was like, no, I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna throw it out there right away, see what you guys' instant reactions are.
Have you
All right.
guys ever seen that like show called Truth or Drink?
No.
And I'm sorry, I don't think it's a show. It's this thing on social media, specifically on Snapchat. So they get these old couples back together. I don't know why I thought about this. They literally, well, because I just took a drink. That's why. They literally get old, divorced or broken up, right? Doesn't matter if they're girlfriend or previous, whatever. So they're not dating anymore. And they literally just go through their lives and they're like, so did you do this? And they ask each other questions. You can either say the truth or you just have to take a sip. It's actually pretty interesting. I thought about maybe implementing that into like something we do here, say the truth or just drink. But
Yeah.
I think we'll just say that, leave that for another time, since a lot of family members just decide to watch our Slightly Average guys.
Listen, I'm all in because I don't care what I tell people. I mean, I got some weird shit that I've done. So I'm in.
But until our family members start to share and spread the love of our beautiful Slightly Average Guys podcast. Family, friends, everybody out there, please share that love. We'd
Share
appreciate
away.
it.
Share it right now. Review it. Go to Apple and review the podcast. Review it.
Reviews all day.
All right, we'll wait.
Yep.
Still waiting. It's a problem. You got time. What about now?
Yeah, what are you doing? You're sitting here on Twitch watching people, like, really? Come on, really? You got time.
All right, Ryan, you had a rant / just very thought-provoking question that wasn't just like some random ass thing. Well, it's still random, but you were like, go ahead and ask it. It's about the lotto.
Yeah, so everybody, I don't want to say everybody, right? You either play the lottery and hopefully hope to win and not just like waste money, but or some people don't play the lottery. But either way, you're always thinking, especially when it gets larger, everybody has that thought like, wow, what would I do if I win all this money? Which is great, like whatever. Even if you play the lottery or not, it doesn't matter. You've always thought that. But I just randomly in our pre-show, literally when we were talking beforehand, I didn't even come up with this prior. In most applications, if you win that massive mega pot of money, $300+ million of money, most likely you're going to share that, right? In my opinion, mostly I would think and I would imagine that people would share that with close family members, potentially for friends. And I'm not talking 50-50, I'm not talking a quarter. I'm just talking like $300 million I win, and that's after taxes, right? Just say I won $300 million. I'd give somebody $1 million. That's reasonable. I would totally do that. Well, let's draw this back a little bit. 300 million is a lot of money. Let's bring it down to $200 million. I'm sorry. $2 million. Single two. 1, 1, 2. 2 million. I was gonna say $2 million, but it's actually like 2 million, whatever. So
Okay.
$2 million. Still, to most of us here, that is a lot of money.
$2 million after taxes, right?
After taxes, straight up $2 million. That is a lot of money, but not comparatively to the jackpots, right? The lotteries. Do you still share that money?
Throw the line, since you move the goalpost from 300 million to 2 million is what I get take home.
Yeah.
Draw the line in the sand of what you consider sharing. Is it $1,000 and above? $10,000 and above? Like where's the line in the sand there? Because like, yeah, you know, somebody needs $100. Like, okay, I'll give you $100. But like, I've already done the math on this. Like, ironically enough, and if I put like $3.2 million in the crappiest savings account ever, I could live off of the interest of what I make today, right? And the interest would make me what I make today working for a normal job. And yeah, it's like $3.6 million or something like that sitting in a bank making 0.004% interest or whatever the hell crazy low ball number it is.
Let's just call, $10,000 is a decent amount of money.
So 10 grand and above.
Screw that. No, let's just call it 50,000 increments.
Then no.
Or above.
No.
That answer's no.
No.
You have
First
$2
off,
million
first
in
off,
your pocket.
First off, ain't nobody gonna find out I'm winning the lottery unless it's 300 million bucks. Okay, like unless it's like I'm bringing home 50 million or above. Nobody's gonna know.
True.
I'm gonna hire an attorney to go pick up the damn thing. And as long as I'm in a state that you don't have to publicly disclose, which FYI, a lot of the states are, that you have to publicly disclose who you are. Billy Bong's, wacky waveable inflatable tube guy is the one that won the lottery because that's the LLC that went and picked up the check and put it in the bank account, right? Like, so nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna.
So basically, what you're saying is at $2 million, you win that tomorrow. Family members, friends, it's just staying within the household.
Well, I mean, yeah, like no, there's somebody's gonna get money, but you set the threshold at 50 grand or above. I'm not giving anybody more than 50 grand.
Okay, so what is your threshold?
For what you consider, like, there's probably, it's different on each scenario.
Yeah, okay. And I understand because there's a lot of variables that go into that, right? Are we talking like mom and dad? Are we talking
it's like third cousin, second removed, hey,
like,
I don't even know who you are.
Within the first immediate 15 family members and friends. Family members and friends. Like that's still a lot of people,
Ryan, I mean? I'm not giving you money.
I just thought it was an interesting question.
Yeah. We're not getting 50K.
Andy, where do you sit on that?
I mean, yeah, I think like immediate family circle, then I would, knowing that I'm going to share at $50,000 increments, I think that my immediate family is very small. So, to me that's a no-brainer. I mean, there's like 5 people.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think that I would share at that amount with like 2 or 3 that, and the reason why it would be so little is like, I would want to share to people that would change their life, right? Because 50 grand is 50 grand, but for some people that's like a, a whole new world for them, right? A whole new life. It's a whole thing. I'd rather provide somebody, a whole new start if possible. But if I couldn't do that, if I didn't have anybody that would qualify, then I'd rather split that up, because 5 grand still changes people's life, right? So I would try to see how far I could make it go that really made an impact, rather than, hey, let's all rent a private jet, go to Vegas, and spend it on hookers and blow or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I would much rather.
Yeah, I
do
think
that.
I think truthfully, like if you're just asking, like, am I writing people checks or showing up with briefcases of money, right? Like, I feel like that's what you asked me. Mine would be, I'm not necessarily going to give people money, but I'm going to do things with money that I wouldn't normally do that helps people and myself at the same time, right? Like, hey, like me and my dad like doing certain things, like whether it's cars or whatever else. It's like, hey, well, let's go buy this automotive shop. I'll, split it 50-50 with you, and let's run this place. And I'm still doing my normal day job. Hey, you watch over it and do those things. You're employed by it. You make money off of it, different things, different family members, right? Like that's, hey, I'm still awarding you money for doing something. We're doing things that we actually truly want to do. Because that's truthfully like what I would honestly do with money, regardless of, it's just a random cat there. Regardless of what the amount that I would actually make, it would be, I don't think I would be that person that would just sit around and not do anything.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah. Cause I want to like places too, right? Not just an individual, like, if I could a dog shelter or animal shelters, definitely I would do that. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of parameters that I didn't set, right? There's a lot of different variables in that. If I win $2 million, I'm not solely going, fuck off. I'm not saying, don't look at me. That's basically what I'm getting at, right? Is the bottom line. Of course, there's going to be people that I could help out, and I would probably want to at that point.
Yeah,
that's really all I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, I'm still gonna help people out. It's just not gonna be like a blank check just to be a blank check. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should I help a ton of people out as it is, So like that, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm just, it'd be the way, like I'm trying to say, the way I would go about it, right? Like I would just love to do what I want to do. Like, hey, you want to take 300 grand and try to figure this weird, crazy ass idea out because we think it's going to make it. Let's figure it out. Let's try to do it, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think for me, you go back to the first part and you have this astronomical large sum of money. I think what Ryan mentioned about giving people the opportunity to do what they might want and being a part of it. And somebody mentioned provide experiences to family members. I think giving somebody the freedom to pursue something that they might not have ever had a chance to because you have that opportunity and being a part of it, I think would be tremendous. Although the only fear that I would have doing that is this cloud over that person's head of like, what if it doesn't work? Am I on the hook for this? And would that ever potentially ruin the relationship that we might have currently? I'd be fearful of that, but I'm rich, bitch.
that one's just that's going into business with friends or family, right? That's like setting the expectations of everybody understands to set expectations about what, hey, if we hit it well, like how is this going to work? That's the only side they look at. But if it also doesn't, you need to set those expectations at the beginning as well. Be like, hey, we're going to be on the hook to try to pay this back with doing something else, or no, don't worry about it. It's cool, right? It's 10 grand.
Unfortunately, money talks for sure, and you gotta like at that point. I feel like you'd have to have something written down before you even go into something. You know what I mean?
Like there's so many different
straight
things.
And honest.
Oh yeah, there's so many things that Andy and I, especially with all the businesses that we've helped build and do different stuff with over the last several years, that you've learned. Every single business that we've either helped or been a part of, we've learned what not to do, and what not to do is so much more valuable than the perfect answer, right? It's always write things down, always make sure that you get an agreement in place. Make sure that agreement includes out clauses at the beginning. make sure that that agreement includes if there is a dispute, how is that dispute settled? You can't both be 50-50 owners and you both come to, there'll be an instance where you both will come to a head, even if both parties are putting in 50% of the money, right? Where you disagree. How do you overcome that to keep the business moving forward? Because that's why a lot of businesses fail, is two people can't agree. And then those two people, you know, just say, well, screw it, shut the damn thing down. And it could have been another Amazon, right? Like there's so many things about how you need to make sure that you're thinking about it in the first place of, you know, even instances where we've sold portions of a business, and in that agreement, we did not put in place if the other party wants to leave, that owns the majority now, or wants to shut the company down. We should have put in there something we learned from one of the last deals that we did. Hey, if you want to shut the company down, I get the option to buy it for $1. That should be in anybody's thing. Anybody that's doing any business deal from here on out. It should be. Yeah. And it's been in other deals that we've had, but we didn't do it in this last one. We just all overlooked it.
That's hilarious.
You know, if either party wants to shut it down and just walk away, well, okay, let me have the option to take the liability on, because it's not just, you know, there's
work hard.
There's usually a huge amount of debt that you're taking on, but let me choose to do it, and I'll do it 100% on my own, and I'll own 100% of that debt, and I'll build the company 100% out of the hole that it's in, because I think I can, because I believe in it. Like,
for sure.
Again, those things are what you learn, because it's what you don't know that will cost you. And I have a
And I really just thought it was an interesting question. And again, this was not a question that I asked like a week ago. This is something that I asked, I think, in our pre-show. I can't remember what time, but
it was 10 minutes.
Glad we talked about that, because that's that opened up a whole new ballpark of our podcast this afternoon. So.
All right, guys, we appreciate everybody watching this week, listening this week, especially because we were off last week. We had family in town, so appreciate everybody hanging with us and joining us back this week. Again, please review us on the Apple podcasting app, as well as share it with all your friends, family. Put it on a poster, but take out a billboard in Central Phoenix and put it, you know, Slightly Average Guys podcast. Whatever you want to do, get the name out there.
Share it on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cheaper way to go. I mean, if you want to not be the, you know, if you just want the minimum amount of flair, just share it on Facebook. But if you want the maximum, you know, we will take pre-rolls in all the MLB games. That'll work for us. So go ahead and do that.
That'd be awesome.
Shout out to Google Fi. We're here for you, baby.
All right, guys. We appreciate everybody joining us with us, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.